Hello, this is Gloria on Homestead Thursdays. Thank you so much for tuning in. I just want to say thank you again to everyone who has been tuning in these past weeks. I believe this is episode 15. All right, so we've been going for a little while now. Thank you for the likes, for the loves, for the comments, for the shares. I appreciate all of your support. I'm not feeling the best today, but I just keep telling Mario I've got to be consistent. So I am excited to be doing my episode today to let you know what I've been up to in the kitchen. So let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, the first thing that I want to share with you is the pasta that I made last week. I used this plant-based Bolognese. It's a vegan pasta sauce by Simple Truth. I got that at Kroger. And I used it with the Banza rotini noodles made from chickpeas. And that's just about it. I didn't do anything to it. I just cooked the noodles, drained them, warmed up the sauce, and mixed them together. All right. And you can see that I've got the label. Let me open it up. And that's what it looks like. I went ahead and I took out the bread. Okay, that's sourdough bread. I got that from Meyer. And I'll go ahead and tell you about it. This is my serving. Mario will take it to work this week the way that I normally pack his. He tasted a little bit of it for the review today. And he says that it's okay. So it's okay for what it is. A store-bought pasta sauce. But it just needs a little bit of doctoring, which I'm not shocked because when I did their Alfredo sauce, it was the same way. When I warmed it up, had to add a little bit to it. All right, so I have been wanting to do that for months. Finally got around to doing it, and that was the pasta noodle that you saw that I used. So let me go ahead. I'm going to put that back in there. I'll fix that up a little bit later. All right, and I'll show you what I also did. All of those peaches, I made peach butter. I had been wanting to make that for Mario. He loves peaches. And I had only ever heard about apple butter. But it turns out they've got all different types of butters, even tomato butter. When I'm in these canning groups, I get so many different ideas. All right, so Mario has tasted it. He said he loves the flavor. The only thing is, if you can see it, it's not as thick as butter should be if you're used to an apple butter. And that was because it was about midnight when I did this. And I had already been cooking that peach butter down for about 2 hours. And I didn't want to keep cooking it after midnight. I was tired. I didn't want to disturb the neighbors because I already had to can it. And when it comes out of the water bath, it makes those little ping sounds. So I didn't want to be doing that well into 1 or 2 a.m. So I probably will make this again, and I will definitely do it during the day. I don't think that I like canning at night. All right. And I will probably just let it cook down longer on the stove, or I'll try the option where I can use the crock pot, because that's how I do the apple butter, and let it cook down overnight. That might be a better idea for me. Okay, so if I do happen to do it again, I will report back. All right, I want to go ahead and show you all some of the recipes I still have left from when I did my raw detox. All right, down here at the bottom, these are some raw no-bake oatmeal cookies. All right, now I will tell you, I am not a huge no-bake fan. Mario says that's pretty big down here in Kentucky, but where I'm from, you eat baked cookies. So for what it was, excuse my voice, for what it was okay on a raw diet. Is this a cookie that I would make just when I'm eating cooked food? Absolutely not. But it wasn't hard to make. I got the idea from Facebook. You just took some oats, ground them up, added some different spices, and then on top, that's raw almond butter. And I think I kind of doctored that up maybe with a little bit of vanilla extract and a little bit of liquid sweetener. And then in the middle, you were supposed to use strawberry jam. I didn't have it. So I just took some strawberries, mashed them up with a little bit of liquid sweetener, and that's what you have. Now, these have been in the fridge and they had to be smashed down, so that's why it looks the way it looks. It's okay. If you like a no-bake oatmeal cookie, you will like it more than I did. All right. Back here, this is the second cashew cheese that I made on my raw detox. And I think I like this better than the first one because I let the cashews soak much longer. These soaked overnight, probably 15, 16 hours or so. So it was much more creamy than the first cashew butter I made during the detox. But I also like the flavor as well. It's very savory. All right. Let me move on to these three here in the middle. Now, I ventured off and did a raw sweet potato pie. I did half of the recipe and I put them in these little ramekins. All right. And I wanted to love this so much more than I did, but I'll be honest, I am really not a sweet potato person. I like sweet potatoes and your casseroles, and I like yams, but anybody who knows me knows that I would favor a pumpkin pie any day. All right. And so when I first tasted it, it was okay. What is this right here on top? That is kind of a walnut mixture. All right. And so that made it taste better because I feel like the filling needed some more doctoring as far as the spices that were used and even the sweetness. But it was okay. So the next day, what I did was I took and I made some coconut ice cream. And the flavor is amazing. It turned out really good. The only thing was all I had at home was coconut shreds instead of a coconut. So the texture is not as smooth as it would be with a coconut, but I love that flavor. And in the back, that is coconut whipped cream. Now, I will tell you that coconut whipped cream was super duper sweet. I used the monk fruit powdered sweetener, which said it was 2 times as sweet. So I have the amount. I think it called for half a cup of sweetener. I think I just used 1/4, and it was still too sweet. So when I put all of this together, it made the sweet potato pie taste much better. All right. And the whipped cream wasn't as sweet either. Now, fast forward a few days after I made it, after it had set for a while, it tasted much better to me. Okay. I don't know. Sometimes when you cook something, it tastes better the next day. It tastes better when you let it set in the fridge for a while. And so it kind of grew on me. And so much so, I shared it with Mario. And Mario is a big texture person, but for what it was, he enjoyed it. Actually, this last little serving, we're going to split it. Okay? So I probably will do this again the next time I do my raw detox. I'll try to have Mario here so he can help me doctor up the filling to make it better. I knew right away I like to see the seasonings in my sweet potato pie or any pie. So I knew it needed a little bit of work. But I will do this again. I actually plan on going on another detox next week, beginning September the 4th. And I'm going to try to go for 2 full weeks. This last one I did 12 days. I think I can go for 2 full weeks. And I think that I would like to try to do a raw detox every month for at least a week because I just felt so good and I love the way it regulated my digestive tract. Made me more regular. It was just awesome. And I love the way that I felt, everything about it. So I cannot wait a long time to do that again. All right, let me move over. I did a lot of dehydrating after I found out I could use my stove on warm. I am most proud of my raisins. These was left. I used white grapes, and I probably could have let them dehydrate more to get a little more small, but I like the flavor. Okay, and I've used this in salad, in my wraps, in my smoothie bowls, in my overnight oats. amazing. I'm actually going to try them with some black grapes now and see how that goes. All right, next I have my apple chips. This just is one of my favorites. I always loved apple chips. And so with this one, I made sure not to slice the apple chip as thin because I have a little mandolin, but it made it almost paper thin, which was too thin, especially with not having a dehydrator. So I cut these by hand, made it a little thicker, added cinnamon, a little sweetener. Love it. It's one of my favorites. All right, and then I made some banana chips. You can see that they're not completely dry, but they had gotten so small, I didn't want to keep going. So I think when I get a proper dehydrator, I can do better with the banana chips. I made those for Mario. He loves bananas. He says the flavor is good because I topped those with some cinnamon as well. All right, and then I dehydrated some fruit. That's an orange in the back, a lime, and a lemon. Now, I've got to do some more looking into this thing on proper storage because they were more dry, and then when I put them into the fridge, you can see some of the hydration came back. So I haven't tried those yet, but I will to just put it in water to kind of flavor it a little bit. But I want to work on that because I would like to do those dehydrated citrus pieces, not just because they look beautiful, but because I love flavoring water with them. I keep lemon water all the time, so that's something that I want to keep working on. All right, and right there in the back of the plate, I did some more of that fruit leather that is similar to fruit roll-ups. Now, this first one right here is strawberry peach. It didn't turn out the best, all right? And I was very disappointed because Mario loves peach. However, this was just my second and third time dehydrating fruit leather, and I did it in the oven, so I think with a normal dehydrator, you can kind of control the temperature a little bit better and it will be better. But I'm not going to be hard on myself because this is something new. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying. Now, the second one is strawberry kiwi. And I wanted to love that one better than it turned out. It was very tart. I did 1 cup strawberry, 1 cup kiwi. And I think maybe next time I do 1.5 cup strawberry, 1/2 cup kiwi, because I think the kiwi might have made it a bit tart. And I think that I left these two in the oven too long. I've got to do some more looking because they say don't take it out if it's sticky. And most of the fruit leather that time was not sticky, but there were a couple of parts that still were. And I took it out later. But I think I probably should have taken it out when most of it was done, because you can see on this last one, which is strawberry mango, it turned out so much better. The flavor is wonderful, and you can see that it's even a lighter color. So out of these three, the strawberry mango turned out the best, and it was my favorite. But at some point, I'll try these again, and I'll try other flavors as well. I want to do a strawberry one all by itself. And even when I went to Cincy, I let my folks taste the strawberry mango one, and they loved it. My grandmother, she loved it. My aunt loved it. I took some of the blueberry, and my little niece, she wasn't too crazy about it, but that was okay. And they were also impressed that those were sugar-free because I used monk fruit. All right, so that's just a bit of the dehydrating that I've done in the past week. Just a couple of more things to show you. I made sun tea. This was so exciting. I had seen someone years ago post their sun tea, and I finally made it. It has some ginger in there, some lemon slices, all right, and the tea that I used was peppermint, and I did not sweeten it before I put it in the sun. I think next time I will. I just sweeten it after the fact. I have had this a little warm. I've had it chilled. And I think I actually like the chilled form better. All right. And so when this is gone, I want to make another batch. And this time I want to make lemon, jasmine, green tea. And I think that's going to be just excellent. And I'll tell you, when I did this, I sat it in my car because where I live, I was afraid that if I put it on the sidewalk or if I put it on the grass, I would have to sit in the window all day to make sure no one took it. And in on our back patio, the sunlight wasn't catching too well. And this time turned out so well because the day that I did this, it was not a continuous stream of sunlight. So I know that if I catch a day of continuous sunlight, it probably will be so much better. Now, with all of these recipes, I will do a full document and put all of them in. So I'm not going to have any recipes for this video except for maybe the peach butter. But all of my raw recipes that I found and used, I will post those separately. All right, another thing, I did some fermented cucumbers. These are not quite ready, but in a couple of days, I will be able to taste these. If they taste good to me, I will put them in the fridge. Okay, and I think I can share that recipe as well. All right, so I will get back to you and let you know how they taste. They are still in the process. And I just want to share with you all that I have a good amount of peaches, and I want to take those and do some different things with them. So hopefully next week I'll have some more peach items for you all to see. All right, and that is me, Gloria, on Homestead Thursdays. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, love, comment, share, and I will see you next Thursday. Shalom.